Yeah, so I'm interested in what the structures made possible for what were the sort of affordances that this string of structures opened up.
I can build a physical space at home where I get reminded of the monsters and so on. So I just take the structure and physicalize it. Because others, it's just in my mind and so on. But if I see it as I go into a store, I know what I can buy and what I don't want to buy. So it helps me to build a physical space.
Awesome, thank you. Anybody else?
For me, it made the implicit very explicit because we had to write it down, and that somehow led me to think of that I have to spend some time on these implicit goals, that I have to attend to those, and that they need some time and attention instead of just focusing on the explicit thing, because I'm not going to reach that explicit thing unless I focus on the implicit goal as well. So that made that very obvious.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I'm just going to hold on. Yeah, thanks. Cool. Anybody else?
My gifts become very easily my monsters. Very easily. When I exaggerate them, or they take over completely unrestrained, they become the saboteurs.
Hold on, I'm going to write that down. I'll like it. I really appreciate it. Anybody else?
Monsters becoming allies of reminding how to turn it around and to actually learn from them. So what if they weren't saboteurs, but through them signaling the sabotage, I can actually turn it around and improve and achieve my implicit and explicit goals.
Righteous. And now I'd like to go the other way, unless anybody has something else that hasn't been brought up yet. Cool. Then what did the string prevent? This one's always a little tricky, right? If you think about the adventure that we've been on, what did those affordances actually prevent from happening?
It prevented being too shallow about objectives and just stating the obvious and not questioning the status.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I would add to what Sonia said, and I would, I totally agree that going into depth whenever you have a purpose or an objective, going into depth in discovering what makes you think of that particular objective or that particular purpose might bring additional value to your quest and might help you somehow consider, as Miriam said, even the monsters as guidance, as signals that you might enrich your path with something that you didn't figure out before. And you might take into account different point of view that you didn't take into account before. So for me, this was the value of all this exercise. And I realize now, hearing you speaking, all of you. Yeah.
So if I understand, it sounds like it helped prevent a sort of narrow-mindedness of perspective. Cool. Thank you. Anybody else? Perfect. And now when you think about this, where in your life might you be able to apply, if not this string, the elements of its thinking in your local context? Where might those things be useful?
I think it's a great exercise to do regularly, even on your own, because you get to discover new personality traits that maybe can be fostered further on. And people change over the course of time. So it's nice to realign with yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, like every time I feel that like fight or freeze response to a challenge or, you know, whatever trigger sets me off, right? It's a moment to pause and say, okay, what's really going on there?
Thank you. Now I'm sitting here going, oh yeah, how can I do that? Anybody else?
Even on a personal level, helping friends and family to not just stay at the surface when they're sharing whatever they want to share, but helping them to dig deeper and therefore also having a more connected and meaningful conversation in my daily life.
Righteous, thank you. And in the chat, I see, and work with clients as well to take a broader view on goals.
I was thinking also about big projects. Whenever you start a project, I'm thinking from my role inside the organization, whenever we want to start a project, to be sure that we approach all the aspects relevant for this project and not to work on, as Lisette said in the chat, not just going on the explicit goals, just digging deeper and see what might come from this project might be valuable also for you as a project provider, also for the stakeholder.
Thank you. So as an element of sort of risk management, is what your input sort of brings up for me. Thank you. Yep, friction and resistance. Amen. Awesome. My middle name, Jeremy, he who has resistance and creates friction, Akers. Well, thank you guys very much again for your time, attention, and energy. That's everything I got that I had intended for today. Miriam, you want to say anything? Oh, hold on. Actually, we'll give you a second. Miriam, thank you so much. Tiny little story, right? So Miriam came to my meetup group, which is kind of a crazy thing because Miriam doesn't come to meetup groups. And that's where our relationship started. Yeah, at that point in time, we were very much like, no, meetup groups, no, events, no. But I was lucky enough to have her, and she saw me in a way that enables me to be here for you guys right now. So thank you very much for that, Miriam. I really appreciate it.
And the reason why I avoid meetup groups that I don't host myself is because I'm a true introvert who just hides as an extrovert when I'm hosting groups. Thank you everyone for joining today. Please put your hands up again for Jeremy. Thank you. And maybe since we just have a few minutes left, let's not finish with the housekeeping, but housekeeping is in the chat. We have our gift form. So please share one gift for yourself and one gift for Jeremy. What were your takeaways from this session? And then maybe we can just close with a one word or one sentence checkout. Someone starts and just passes the talking stick to the next one.
Okay, perhaps I can start us off. What I really liked about this workshop was the storytelling approach and the illustration sketchbook, which I feel really complements the discussion about monsters. And I nominate Jenny to go next.
Jenny, you are on mute.
Yeah, no, I kept hitting it, I'm not unmuted. Yeah, I think for me, thank you very much. Going through the process, I must admit there was a few moments, but for me, I think to tackle my monsters, I have to not over plan, and then therefore if there's a hurdle, work on it when I get to it, rather than try and plan for being able to jump over it, because if I keep planning I never get anywhere, if that makes sense. That's really helped me understand that. Thank you. Thomas.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jeremy, and Miriam, of course, for taking your time. The takeaway, the new takeaway, is that we have group monsters. So when you have a management team, a project team, a research team, so that I got an idea how to work them out and make them more talkable and easier to handle. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for helping me on this thinking tour. And then I hand over to Linda.
Thank you, Thomas. I would say that it's important to listen to what drives you and just take your monsters on a wild ride. And I give it to Anna.
I think I am the only Anna, no? So I take the immunity to change approach, which I am very glad that I recognized it without you citing it, because I attended a course online on Harvard University about immunity to change, led by the two authors. And I really enjoyed identifying the same monsters I identified through this course also. Thank you, Jeremy and Miriam, for this opportunity. And I name Roberta.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for passing the word, and thank Jeremy and Miriam for this session. For me, I leave this discussion with you with a feeling that we still have to trust in our instincts and and to somehow to maintain our courage to do things, even if there are plenty of monsters in the group, in the team, in our head. Maybe we can make a gathering one evening to make them speak between themselves, and we do the job apart from that gathering. So for me, it's important somehow to be aware. And this session somehow increased for me the importance of being present in your life and being attentive to what happens without renouncing to your instinct and to your courage to do things. So this is what remains for me after this session. And I thank all the guys with whom I spoke, because it was a truly enjoyable experience for me to meet you all and to speak with you. And I pass the word to Kate, she, her.
Hey, thanks. So yes, I'm feeling very grateful as always after our sessions. Thank you, Jeremy and Miriam and all my conversation partners. And making the implicit explicit and understanding that Linda and I we both came to the explicit goals discussion talking about empowerment of self and others. And this is a great way of actually just learning how to uncover things and then therefore make whatever group you're facilitating feel more empowered, because as was pointed out, until we deal with our implicit things, then we can't get to our explicit things. So thank you. Christian. But you're on mute.
Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Kate. Thank you to all of you. So I discovered a new family, a family of monsters, which I have to, let's say, address. And I hope that they will become less and less during the next time, during the progress of our work. So thank you very much. I pass the stick to Nelly.
Thank you for this session. I really enjoyed. I was just fascinated by Jeremy's style of facilitating. Usually as facilitators, the PowerPoint, we want to make it to be like so formal. And he was so relaxed and we could hear the kids, which is the new normal. Sometimes we do learn in a different situation, in a different setting. So I really like that. It's something that I've learned. And also the 9 whys, because I also coach clients as well. So to dig deeper. So I felt like I was not digging deeper. So the 9 whys exercise, even with those that I was with the breakaway room, it was lovely to be questioned and the reasons why. So I really learned, and that skill I will really use when I coach the executives. And also to meet everyone, it was lovely. Thank you, Miriam, for inviting me. And thank you, Jeremy, for a wonderful session. Thank you. Over to Paulina.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me? I hope so. Yes. I will say that what I take is the importance of feeling uncomfortable and where that feeling will lead you. At least for me, being put on the spot, having to like answer why something made me actually realize some important patterns. And I was like, oh, there it is. Thank you. So yeah, finding answers in feeling uncomfortable, using it as a way to reach where you're aiming to. So, or what you cannot see in that moment. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, everyone else. Who's left? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Eugenio.
Okay, here it goes.
Well, I think that I am going to add a title to after my name, and this is the Keeper of Monsters. So, and the first rule I have learned is that if you want to be the monster to be terrible, never look at it, and nobody should see it. No, it's like in the Loch Ness. No, so Keeper of Monsters, unseen monsters. So thank you very much, Jeremy, and Miriam, as usual. You are your most beautiful self. Okay, yeah.
Miriam, would you like to say something?
Yes, take it.
Yeah, talking stick to me. My takeaway were actually the final wicked question. How is it that I have an explicit goal and I have my monsters, my saboteurs, and how can I bring these two together to combine them? I think that's, we didn't have enough time, but it's something that I want to sit with. I think there's lots of learning opportunities for that. So thank you, Jeremy, so much for hosting that. And over to you.
Word. Thank you so much, especially for ending on that. Wicked questions are my absolute favorite, which is why I think it's an appropriate question to end with a question, right? Not with an answer, but with a question that you can exactly sit with. So I leave this like pretty jazzed, man. This was righteous. I'm super grateful for you guys for coming and hanging out and, trusting me with your attention and just going with wherever I saw fit. So I hope that I trust that I've been a good custodian with that. And I look forward to seeing you guys again on the path. I would really appreciate to connect with you guys on LinkedIn. I host a regular workshop called the Think Slow Dojo, which I would be righteous if you guys would come join us there, because we do shit like this all the time. So thanks so much.
Wonderful. And I hope to see you all next week for a demo session of Pickles and for the gathering to plan the festival and for Jan Keck's workshop, where he will guide us through all the failures he has done in online workshops so far and how we can learn from failures. So enjoy the rest of the day. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.